Welcome back to another video from your friends here at Altitude University. Most of us do our best to provide our clients with the best products and services we can, but you'll probably have at least one time when a customer isn't happy with your product. In this video, we'll go over what to do when this happens and how to recover from it. Before we begin, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so we can continue to provide you with more drone-related content. When you're offering drone services, producing high-quality aerial photos and videos is your top priority, but sometimes clients may still be unhappy with the final product. Handling these situations professionally and thoughtfully can make all the difference in building a strong reputation, preserving client relationships, and ultimately running a successful drone business. Here's a guide on managing unhappy clients, how to make things right, and when to stand your ground if necessary. Step 1. Listen to the client's concerns. If a client expresses dissatisfaction, the first step is to actively listen and fully understand their concerns. Set aside any defensiveness and ask open-ended questions to get to the root of the issue. For instance, instead of assuming you know what went wrong, ask questions like, "Can you help me understand what specifically didn't meet your expectations?" This approach shows the client you're willing to understand their point of view and lets you gather specific feedback that may reveal areas for improvement. Step 2. Evaluate the feedback. Once you understand the client's concerns, evaluate whether their feedback is valid and actionable. Sometimes dissatisfaction can stem from misaligned expectations rather than a lack of quality in the deliverables. For example, a client may not have realized that specific weather conditions or lighting could impact the look of the photos, or they may have been hoping for a level of detail that the project scope didn't cover. If their concerns are reasonable, like an image lacks clarity due to a technical issue or a particular angle is missed, acknowledge the feedback and start looking for solutions. If their concerns seem based on personal preference rather than quality of your work, consider carefully how to address them, as this may affect the next steps you choose. Step 3. Offer solutions to make things right. When a client's feedback is valid, take the initiative to offer solutions that can meet their needs while maintaining the scope of the project. Here are a few options. First, you can re-edit the content. If the issue is related to editing, color grading, or cropping, offering to re-edit the photos or videos is a straightforward solution that can often resolve the problem without requiring a reshoot. Next, you can conduct a reshoot. In cases where the original shoot didn't capture what the client expected, considering offering a partial or even complimentary reshoot. This can be particularly helpful if something outside of your control impacts the initial shoot, like an unexpected weather or a technical issue. You can also suggest discounts or refunds. While you should be cautious about discounting your services too frequently, a small discount can sometimes show goodwill and reassure the client that you're committed to their satisfaction. When offering these solutions, set clear boundaries for the work involved and avoid giving unlimited revisions. Let the client know what will be covered in the rework and establish a timeline so both parties have clear expectations moving forward. Number 4, communicate clearly and professionally. Professional communication is essential throughout this process. Keep your language polite and avoid getting defensive about your work. If a reshoot or re-edit will incur additional costs, be transparent about it. For instance, you might say, "Thank you for your feedback, and I'd be happy to work with you to improve the final product. Given the adjustments you are looking for, a reshoot will involve an additional time investment. I can offer this for a discounted rate to ensure we capture exactly what you need." This lets clients know you're accommodating their requests without compromising your time and resources. Step 5. Learn from the experience. Each experience with an unhappy client is an opportunity for growth. After the situation is resolved, reflect on what you could have done differently. Consider updating your pre-shoot, briefing, or client questionnaire to ensure expectations are clear from the start. For example, adding a discussion about lighting, weather, and specific shots they want captured can prevent future misunderstandings. Now let's talk about when to stand your ground. While it's important to be flexible, there are times when it's best to stand your ground and politely decline to make further adjustments. Here are a few situations where you might need to hold firm. First, unreasonable expectations or demands. If a client insists on changes that are outside the agreed upon scope or repeatedly asks for free services, it may be time to set firm boundaries. This is especially true if the client didn't communicate certain expectations during the planning stage. Another example is high quality work with subjective feedback. Sometimes a client may not be pleased with the final product simply because of personal taste rather than an issue with your work. In this case, it's acceptable to politely remind them that the work meets professional standards and fulfills the original agreement. A third example is protecting your time and resources. If a client's requests are taking more time and resources than the project budget allows, it's okay to explain the additional revisions or reshoots will require additional fees. Running a business requires maintaining a balance between accommodating clients and protecting your resources. When standing your ground, communicate respectfully and confidently. For instance, you could say something like this: "I understand that you were hoping for a slightly different outcome, but based on our initial agreement, the images captured what we discussed and they meet professional standards. I'm open to re-engagement in the future if you'd like to explore additional services." Dealing with unhappy clients is the art of balancing flexibility and professionalism. In the drone service business, keeping clients happy is crucial, but so is standing by your work when it meets agreed upon standards. By handling client complaints with empathy, offering reasonable solutions, and knowing when to hold firm, you'll build a reputation as a professional who is both customer-focused and principled. Balancing these elements not only helps you navigate challenging client relationships, but also strengthens your business foundation, ensuring a healthier long-term client base and fewer misunderstandings down the road. That's it for this week's video. From all of us at Altitude University, stay safe out there and happy flying.